Hello, everyone. Mike Haas along with Deuce McAllister. We are in London. We started Sunday morning in Charlotte, left around midnight from Charlotte last night, flew overnight to London, got here today, checked into the hotel, went right to what is not really practice, was really a media availability. And it's been a long 24 or 48 hours.
So I started in Memphis Sunday morning.
Right.
So I was in 3 different cities because I ended up with you in Charlotte, and then we finally got to leave for London after we'll call it a slight delay because the Saints were delayed for 3 hours.
Right. The Saints did not get to London much faster than we did. We were on separate flights. And it's not easy. It's not easy even if you're on a chartered flight. So for them, we talked a little bit about this yesterday or whatever day it was, not putting Carolina behind them, not putting that because at some point you got to face the facts.
And the facts aren't going to be pretty. The facts are you're making mistakes and you're hurting yourselves. Those are the facts. And now it's almost like if we trash it, we're really cheating ourselves. And what I mean by that is it's allowing you to continue to do the things that you're not doing well. And here's the problem. The mistakes aren't being made by first and second year players. The mistakes are being made by veteran players. You know, guys that understand and know what they're doing. Now, you may have a penalty or two by a young player. I think Chris Olave had one alignment penalty where he lined up in the neutral zone or outsides. But outside of that, a lot of this is offensively. And that's where you're having your mistakes, your breakdown. Because the defense for the past 2 weeks, they've been really, really good. You know, this is back-to-back weeks that we've given up a touchdown via the offense, and you're kind of putting yourself behind the 8 ball. And so I don't think that this road trip could have come at a better time because it gives them an extended period of they're there together. You know, he had to let them off a little after that flight, but all of those guys will be back at that hotel tonight. And some guys will – normally, if this was a Monday, they would be gone, as far as from the facility already. Right. They would go in, you would watch it, you would get your workout in, and you're gone to your selective houses. Now, you're going to go eat dinner together. Most of them are going to be right there at the facility eating dinner. You may have a couple of them that go not necessarily into London, but around London and eat dinner. But guess where they're going to be tonight? They're all sleeping in the same building. Right. So at some point, just being around each other, being able to say, hey, look, let's talk, let's see, let's watch, let's get on the same page. And not to say that they shouldn't have done this, but it's going to almost force them.
And conversely so, Dennis Allen trying to keep it as typical a week. Today was Monday, film, injury type stuff, talk to the media. Tomorrow's Tuesday, the players are off, and it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you try to keep some type of routine, but yet there's a lot of things to address.
Well, he has to do that, though. Because the NFLPA.
CBA, right.
CBA
says you can't work all week.
You can't work.
I don't care what the score was.
You have to give them a certain amount of hours off and time off. They have to have that. But the extra meetings, them being around each other and knowing that the film room is right downstairs, hey, you don't have that at the house. Because like we said, most of those guys are living in their own separate areas, and now film is downstairs. What else are you doing? Now, yes, you will have some guys that their family will be coming over at some point throughout this week, but that's not going to stop them. If the guys are downstairs watching film, they're going to go downstairs and watch film.
So we're going to talk about this topic, even though we know we really can't, and that's the injury situation. Dennis Allen will talk to the media Wednesday. That'll be the first media injury report. But if you just look at Mike Thomas and Jarvis Landry, Deontay Hardy possibly coming back, Chris Olave had a great game. I feel like I'm missing somebody from a receiver standpoint.
Well, yeah, Jarvis
and Mike.
Traquan.
Traquan with the possible concussion. So, we're not going to know about until Wednesday, but I don't want to do this segment and not talk about really what's the obvious. But those are 3 positions and 3 bodies to go down in that game, and hopefully you get Hardy back. But we'll learn Wednesday, but that's going to be a big aspect.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. Most of the staff is here in London, but you still have some of your scouts back in New Orleans. So I feel pretty confident in saying this, that those guys have gotten a certain amount of receivers. Mickey has his ready list. Jeff Ireland has his ready list. It's basically contacting those agents. Hey, look, guys, we need eight of these receivers to be here. They'll video it. The coaches will sit and watch it. Your scouts will put them through some drills, and they will go from there. I feel confident in saying this. Come Wednesday when they practice, they will have at least 2 to 3 new practice squad receivers, probably 2 practice squad receivers here in London to be able to go through this week, just because there's so much uncertainty with the guys that you have.
And the ability to already bring up practice squad players like a Kirk Merritt and whoever that might be, because you're going to bring them up possibly to the active, and you're going to need people behind them. It's just this is almost what felt like training camp last year, but it's actually during the regular season. But it is what it is, man. There's no rest for the weary, and you got a huge game with this Viking team that came back and beat the Lions, and now they're 2-1 in the NFC, and you do not want to come home. You come home 2-2, you consider this with 2 home games, but after that, fresh start.
It's not the end of the world if you lose it,
right?
But it gets very, very tight for you. I'll put it that way. And so I think that they have enough grown men in there that want to go out and prove and show that they are a better football team than the kind of they've played the last 2 weeks. And so as we're around it, we'll get a kind of feel and a vibe, and we'll know a little bit more of who's healthy, who can do what, who can't do what, and try to see how they try to put together a game plan.
So we're in downtown London. The team is actually in a little Edinburgh farther away.
They're in the country.
They're in the country. The practice facility is another 45 minutes away. Nothing is easy. Consider us in downtown New York City trying to maneuver around this town. But we'll have reports for you throughout the week, both digitally, and Steve Geller as well as getting some of the sound from the players as we get ready for the Vikings on Sunday. 2:30 for us. 8:30 for y'all. So get them Hoodaps up early. Thanks, everybody.
Wake up and get your coffee. You can get some breakfast and watch Saints football.